I'd like to show you how to make John Next Door's slider card in 8 easy steps. I've actually decided to make the card a bit funky, if you could call it that, but really just to show you. I'm going to cut the card out in 3 different colours so that you can see where each of the pieces go. So this is the die set. It comes with 2 of the main dies, here and here. It also comes with some circle dies and some hexagon dies and a positioner. Now today I'm just really going to show you the main card, and I'm going to leave those bits for you to use at your wish, but I just want to make up the card itself. So what I've done to start off with is I've taken some 3 different coloured cards, and from this die, which has the extra bit in here, the filled in bit, I've cut 2 pieces. I've cut one in black and one in red. And then from this die, the one with the tab that sticks out, I've cut 1 piece in white. If you were making your own card, you wouldn't be doing it in 3 different colours. But really, I just wanted to show you where each of the card goes and which position it goes into. So we have our 3 pieces of card. Let's take these to one side. So this is 1 piece, we need that, and we're going to use black and white together to make our first section of the card. This section of the card is actually for the back. Now you could just cut out a piece which is approximately 10 centimetres by 14 centimetres and put that straight on the card. Or as I have done, I've used the die itself and I've cut out a piece in red, and then I'm simply going to trim along the score lines, the 2 lots of score lines, to give me my card base. So that piece I don't need. And then along here I'm going to cut off along the score line here, including the little tab, and I don't need those pieces either. So that will be the back of my card, but I'm not going to use that just yet. I'm going to put that to one side. Okay, so step 2 is to simply fold all of the card pieces exactly where they are already creased for you. So this is the white one, and there's just 1 crease down the middle. I'll just go along with that one. And on the black piece I have 2 creases, so 1 here, and turn it around, and another one where the tab is there that gets turned around there. And that's step 2 done. Step 3 is to glue some of them together. So I'm simply going to open up this fold here again, and I'm going to use some glue glaze, mainly because of the quick grab that it has, the quick grab time. And I'm going to dab that just onto this fold here, including the little tab. So just a little bit there as well. You could obviously use red tape or anything like that you wish, but in order for purposes today, I'm just using the glue. So having put the glue onto there, I'm then going to take my white piece, which already has the tab here. I'm going to sit that on top, and I'm just going to slot that down so that the tab is over the black tab and it just sits onto that crease. And I'm just going to fold that over so that that is stuck. I'm just going to hold it for a second or 2, make sure it does actually stick down. Just like that, and that is step 3 done. Now at this stage you would need to decide what shape aperture you would like. So for this purposes I'm going to use one that's completely different from the ones that are actually in the pack. I'm just going to use one of my ordinary rectangles that I've got from my rectangle basic shape die sets. Now it needs to be popped into position. And first of all, as you can see, I've folded these 2 over. So I've stuck that piece there and I've just folded them together. And the position of this is going to be, as they say, eyeballing it. But I'm just going to pop that into position there. And it gives me about 1 centimetre away from the very edge of the card and approximately 1 centimetre away from the top and the bottom. I'm going to pop a bit of repositional tape on there, and then I'm going to run this through my die machine, and I'm only going to go as far as once it's cut. So once we've started to cut it and it's all cut through, I'm not going to continue with all these pieces here. So I'm just going to cut that through, and just so that that one's all done. So in good old Blue Peter style, here's one I prepared earlier. So you can see that I had my triangle there, and I went through my first 2 pieces. So I've now got the hole there, but I just need one more piece. Now you can't cut 3 pieces of card at the same time, not without it buckling too much. That's really why you can't do it. It would buckle the card too much. So I'm just going to fold my cards over, both of them, black and the white piece, so that I can see that the piece that I need to cut out is my white piece, and I need to cut out the same aperture from there. So I'm going to position take my tape off so that it's a bit easier to use. I'm going to position my rectangle just onto that white piece, and from behind I'm just going to wiggle it around so that it's in the correct position. I'm just going to hold that in place whilst the card just pops up again, and I'm just going to tape that bit down there again and the piece down there. Now I'm going to run it through my die machine, and I am actually going to do it this time, so bear with me. And I'm just again only going to go into the die machine as far as it takes me whilst it's cut. I'm not going to carry on with all the bits that are down here. I'm just going to do the bit as far as it cuts. So in order to do that, I'm just going to pop it onto my machine there like that, onto my base plate, cover it over and just run that through. Die cutting machine is actually out of shot because it wobbles the table, and you don't want to see a wobbly table. So we've now got our rectangle cut out of our third piece, our piece at the back, the white piece. So we need to put that to one side. We won't need that anymore. We now have our 3 apertures, and if I fold the card, the white one and the black piece, we'll now have that. We have a window with all 3 pieces, and we have, as we open the front of the card, a sliding bit that comes across here. Okay, so our black piece is sliding across. Now, in order to get a professional finish, because we are professionals, I'm just going to do 2 things now. We obviously need to put the back of the card on, but before that, I'm going to open our card up, and we will see here, this aperture here, all right, needs to be stuck. So I'm just going to take my glue, and I'm going to put my glue onto the back of this aperture, just a little bit. Don't need a lot. And then I'm just going to stick that down like that. Then I'm going to take my white piece of card, going to fold that over, and I'm just going to put a little bit of glue. I'm going to use my glue glaze for this. I'm just going to put a little bit of glue along this white card edge, the piece that is folded over, and it's at the back of my card. I'm not paying any attention to this piece. It doesn't reach anyway, so I'm not paying any attention to that bit. It's just this bit where I've put glue on that very, very edge. I'm then taking, in this case, the red card, so that you can see the difference in it, and I'm going to match that up to my white piece of card, and I'm just going to stick that down. And that's the back of my card. So this little bit is only stuck just on that one side. Just going to fold that in. See, my card is covered. I'm going to turn my card over. You can now see what is the back of the card, the red piece. But when I pick it up and I actually move it, I should be opening it up and my black piece will slide back into my card aperture there. So it simply is sliding that in, and then we would put now our sentiment there, and we would put our sentiment on this piece here. It needs to be flat because you can't put a decoupage piece on this bit because it's going to get squashed. So something on here, first sentiment on here, second sentiment on this black piece here, and then obviously decorate the front. I hope that's explained it to you. Obviously, as I said, whilst you could make a funky card in black, red and white, that's fine, but it was really just to show you where all these positions of the card are so that you can have a go yourself. Thanks for watching.